Nick, he genuinely changed my life in about 3 weeks. I always felt like I didn't really perform relative to both my own expectations, my own skill, and just in general, like I felt like I was always underperforming and underconfident, and just very, I guess, it's almost like a negative feedback loop, right? Like you don't perform, you harden yourself, you go back and you work on what you think will make you perform, and then nothing happens, and it just keeps going back and forth. When I was in a really comfortable environment, hitting with some of my coaches who I'm close with, or training with a couple mates or whatever, I would be performing at my best all the time. I thought it was overthinking, so that was my theory on, and I do overthink, yes. One of the big things I've learned from Nick is that, and I like to think of it like a tree. So you've got like your top branches, which is like the problems, and they all feed down into like one root problem. And yes, I do overthink, but that was like a top branch problem. And if I solved that, another thing would have grown because we're not actually addressing the root cause. I never actually related that to cricket. I was like, all right, that's separate, cricket separate. And I never told Nick that in our chat in India. But then when he was like, all right, this is the problem, I was pretty flawed. And I don't really get flawed often. So I was, that's when I knew. I was like, all right, I got to book sessions in with this guy. This guy's unreal. A lot of mentor coaches and other people who work in this field, they don't address the problem, rather give the solution. So without knowing the problem, they'll give a boilerplate template solution. Breathe in, breathe out. Like what you output is what you input, as in be positive and whatnot. And they're all saying the same messages, which are supposed to work for everyone, because my problem was completely different to that. And the reason why my life has changed is because Nick actually he finds the problem and addresses it and works with you to solve it. It's almost like the way I've coined it in my mind is those guys reading a book because they're going to give you the same answer over and over and over again. I almost feel like Nick's almost like a cricket therapist, where I feel like you talk, he finds out the problem and he helps you through the problem. It's not just boilerplate solutions. The first week was a bit difficult. I was probably maybe 70% of the time still my old self, 30% of the time new self. But last week I reckon I was 98% of the time my new self. And I honestly had one of the best weeks of my life. And I kept telling Nick that. I had a chat with him yesterday, and I kept telling him over and over again, I'm like, this last week, I don't know how to tell you, it's just been one of the best weeks of my life. And for the first time in my life, I'll be playing for me, the hardest pill to swallow. And it'll be funny when Nick's watching back on this, because he'll know how hard it was for me to swallow. Everything Nick has told me, I've sort of agreed with. That one, I was like, you're wrong, you don't know me. But I've come around. But I've accepted that. It is all true. I'm really excited just to play cricket because I love it, because I really do love cricket so much. For the first time since I was 11, I'll get to play for me. Just do it, fall head first and don't look back, because it has been transformative. Just pay the money, do it, see what you get out of it, because you will get so much out of it. The value I've gotten has far superseded the money I've paid, and it's been 3 weeks.